Catch up on the hottest panels from Pulse 2026, the UK's leading conference for retail and e-com professionals. Whether you couldn't attend or had FOMO from sessions you missed on the day, there's no need to miss out on this amazing content. It's all available now on Inside Commerce. Dig in and enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Sham from Vervaunt. I just want to kind of start with, we have the luxury of working with a lot of tech partners in the space and in the ecosystem. And, this is one of our new panels this year, and we wanted to kind of introduce emerging tech that we love. But I'll let these guys introduce themselves and what the product is and what it is that they do there. But I'll start with you, Vidar.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Vidar. I'm one of the co-founders at Emfas. And for those of you who don't know, Emfas is basically a fully automated way to manage your product operations. And hailing from Stockholm, Sweden.
Marc Adelman, VP of Growth at Visually. We are a agentic AI CRO platform in the Shopify ecosystem. We work with over 2,000 brands in the Shopify ecosystem and help them kind of graduate from doing either no CRO whatsoever or moving from just doing occasional A/B testing to doing full-scale CRO, light segmentation and personalization.
Hello, I'm Sarah and I'm the co-founder of Harper. So we are a try before you buy solution, and we help premium retailers acquire new customers and sell those higher consideration pieces online. We work with many of the UK's leading retailers like M&M, Paul Smith, Toast and Self-Portrait.
Nice. Hi, everyone. My name's Jessika, and I work at DEMA, the agentic retail operating system. We connect every single commercial data point across retail, e-com, inventory, margins, customers, marketing spend, you name it, essentially so nothing gets left out when decisions get made. I'm the measurement lead, and I help brands like Accelerato, Acne Studios understand which channel deserves credit when they all claim it.
My name is Oscar, one of the co-founders of Ecommerce, a company we started 2 years ago when I was leading the digital customer experience at H&M, and saw firsthand how extremely broken the space around returns is, and saw that the industry were lacking a preventive returns reduction solution. So today we help brands like Accelerato, COS, Nidhi Jeans and others to reduce returns before they happen with a shopping passport, which is the Ecommerce.
Thank you very much, everyone. You might also see a bag over here, and where's your freebies? Under here. We will be chucking out some questions into the audience, and the closest number wins, basically, and you get some cool merch. So that should surely wake somebody up here. But yeah, I'm going to start with, so I've got 5 people here and 15 minutes now. So the only way that I can do this is kind of like in an interview style way, and I'm going to start with Harper, Sarah. So just because obviously being a simple solid product starting in the UK market with the concierge service, I assume you know most of this room. I will actually ask another question to the audience, but you guys are a premium concierge experience for brands like M&M, Self-Portrait and Toast. What are your biggest learnings that you get from interfacing with these brands and high customers?
So one thing that we notice is that a lot of retailers will treat new customers in the same way because they don't have any kind of data points to suggest who they are, how much they might spend in the future. And they have a kind of threshold, and it's a spend threshold, and a customer has to get there in order to be treated like a VIP. And I think we are re-exposed to potential VIPs because we're literally in their homes. So we really see the kind of gap here. And I think when the kind of acquisition costs of customers are so high, it's just kind of we see it as such an opportunity area for retailers. So yeah, I thought it was a good one to highlight here.
Just out of interest, in this room, how many people are on brand and retailer side versus tech and product platform? Okay, it's quite a few. Okay, so last year you then introduced Harper Try, which allows people again to try the product. How did this come about, and what's been the incremental impact for customers?
So for those of you that don't know, Harper Try is basically consignment at scale. So I'm sure everyone in the room is aware that consignment traditionally is kind of ring-fenced for the top P customers. And we kind of thought, how amazing would it be if we were to open this up to everybody, obviously with kind of sophisticated technology and fraud prevention in place. But basically, brands use this service to really kind of give their customers the confidence to convert online. So especially new customers and especially customers that are shopping those high consideration pieces. So yeah, in terms of numbers, when we launch the service, we often see a 3 to 5% conversion rate increase. And in terms of average selling price, we usually see about a 15% increase.
And we all love stats, Sarah. Can you give us some stats on the research about returns that you often publish? Yeah, give some to the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of returns, sorry, you did ask about returns, didn't you? I was thinking that you were going to do the stats question.
No.
So in terms of the returns, we have a really kind of bird's eye view across the industry, and it's really interesting to see that actually return pain points are very kind of specific and differ per brand. So if you're a kind of a more mainstream brand with thinner margins, then actually you're probably a bit more concerned about your processing costs of returns. But if you're a premium brand, you might be a bit more focused on the time in which it takes for stock to be returned. So obviously, the longer that it takes, the more likely that it would be that the stock would go into markdown. Business of Fashion did a really, really interesting report on this last year, and they identified this as the biggest cost of returns. I would encourage everyone to read it. But essentially, we've really focused on that within our product. I'm really conscious of time, so if you've got any questions on the product, please come and ask me. But we really focus on that kind of speed of returns, getting it back faster so it doesn't go into markdown, and also is better for demand planning as well.
Thank you, Sarah. So I'm moving on to Vidar next with Emfas. So Emfas have had a massive impact on a number of our clients, including Represent, Stussy and Paul Smith. Can you talk us through the areas that you think you are adding incremental value to e-com teams versus traditional manual catalog management?
We're sharing. Yes, we're sharing. Cool. So yeah, as I said, our goal here at Emfas is basically to take a look at how all of you brands are managing your product catalog, what kind of workflows that go into it, and try and really look at it from a first principles point of view and see how can we effectively implement AI to automate as much of this work end to end. And the way we do it is both we solve the like immediate problems of today to like get your products out on your site, but then it's also all about like SEO and then of course like GEO, which everyone is talking about, but making sure that your product catalog is really ready for what's to come within e-commerce. So it's both solving the problems of today, of you like getting them out, so making sure that they are prepared for what's next.
Thank you. This is awkward, isn't it? Vidar's actually ex-Askit as well. So a lot of product experience coming into, brand experience coming into product. So it's quite an interesting take on it. You've got your mic. So, right, bit of a loaded question for you now. Where do you think your product's going to sit in 2 years' time, given the speed and pace of everything else that's going on in the market?
Yes, I think this is like one of the most interesting questions, at least for us here in the panel, but maybe for a lot of you guys from the brand side as well. Like, where does the AI, SaaS, and tech provider sit in this time and age where you can build a lot with vibe coding and AI tools yourselves? And again, like we are trying to build the end-to-end workflow to manage your product catalog, but there's a lot to it in terms of like building looking at where is the human in workflow and building the best possible interface, like human AI interface for like managing this at scale, but also like from a security standpoint and scalability standpoint, like how do you do thousands of changes across thousands of products at once? So yeah, really trying to solve that in a really nice workflow.
And just on that, then what is on your roadmap? What's next? Can you tell us about the next 6 months? What's on the agenda?
Yes. So I think this question is really, really interesting, where I'd say that if you ask for 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say
3 months.
So if things are moving so quickly right now that if your roadmap or if your tech vendor's roadmap is like a 1 year or 2 year plan, then you can consider yourself quite screwed, because things are moving so quickly where we as providers need to be very flexible in terms of what we do and how we support your needs. So concretely, we are planning like 1 month ahead or something like that. Of course, we have some more long-term vision things, but concretely right now, it's all about like channel completeness. How do we make sure that your products are ready for all of your channels, not just Shopify, but also like wholesale and stuff like that.
Thank you very much. I do the merch question.
Now?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So the question
I have to the audience here is, how many attributes, like product attributes, on average, do you think our customers have?
Anyone? Closest 100 wins. That'll give you a hint of what it is, what it could be. Somebody just said 100. I kind of answered it a little bit for you, but yeah. There you go, 108.
108.
Who answer that? There's somebody at the back. There you go, you get to win it. That you can have a cap in a second. Right, quickly moving on. Thank you very much for that, Vidar. So, Marc, I'm going to start with you. Well, no, I'm going to go to you next, Visually. So Visually has disrupted the A/B testing space massively, and we're using it across maybe like 10 to 20 clients, mutual clients of ours. So your ICP is similar to the audience, mostly 20 to 100 million brands. How do you think this type of retailer should be approaching testing and personalization, and what do you think is the right balance?
Wonderful question. We've talked to over 5,000 brands, and one of the first questions we ask are about if they are doing testing, how many tests are you doing per month? And 99% of the time, that answer is 2 to 3. In testing, about 30% of your tests succeed. So you're going to be hard pressed to move the core metrics of your business doing 2 to 3 tests. So a lot of what we're trying to do big picture is to speed up that CRO roadmap. Now, when you do speed up that roadmap, one of the largest opportunities is within site segmentation. So if you're doing occasional A/B testing, that's great. But then when you're picking up pace, it's not just about creating a global, improving the global experience for everyone, but really identifying your core segments, your personas, and creating a testing roadmap for each one of those. Now, that's a little daunting if you have to think about dev and design. Why do most brands? It sounds like an easy idea. I said it. It's like, okay, great. But if you had to create all of the different experiences for those different cohorts through dev and design, that's kind of why a lot of brands aren't able to get there. So now with agentic AI, literally merchandisers, UX folks, e-commerce generalists are pushing those experiences single-handedly without any assistance through dev and design, and really able to fill in those gaps with those site segmented experiences, moving from just, again, global optimizations to please everyone to very targeted and segmented optimization. So that's really where brands are seeing the greatest lift long term.
And how are you guys optimizing like AI? What are you introducing internally to the product, and how do you think it best serves your customers?
Sure. So again, the core thing is to having dev dependency in CRO programs slows things down. So the first thing that we've worked on is really getting the dev dependency to 0 to get them to get to somewhere between 6 to 20 tests per month. That's enough to really post enough wins and move the core metrics of the business. But AI is evolving so quickly. So even on our current roadmap, again, not a year out, but weeks and months away, right now, you're able to, within Visually, just go in and create a single component or make changes to a page. We are weeks away of being able to just have someone come in and prompt full funnel experiences. So not just individual pages, but if you're running a promotion and a promotion coming from a specific channel, and there's all different types of things that you both want to do and or test throughout full funnel, literally that is a single prompt for a non-technical user.
If anyone is in Shopify in this room and hasn't played about Visually yet with a CRO strategy on it, it is genuinely a game changer. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Marc. I'm going to move on quickly now to you, Oscar. So yeah, if you don't mind letting us know. So Ecom ID are aiming to disrupt the fit and size space, which is one of the most costly areas for e-commerce generally. So your data suggests that 76% of shoppers are exposed to Ecom ID platforms will reduce the returns. What makes your approach different to traditional fit predictors?
So when I worked at H&M, I realized that our entire pre-purchase experience was filled with standalone features, and that was really frustrating. So when I left and we got H&M with us as investors, I had this idea of what if we could build a pre-purchase platform where sizing is just one module of the entire pre-purchase platform. So that's one kind of key feature, a key change, where we're not a standalone feature, we're rather an entire pre-purchase experience where sizing is one part. And shoppers who trust the Ecom ID size recommendations, they have 30% lower return rate. And I think that's why we have also 0% churn so far.
with that, you've just mentioned also your background in H&M, which I think is really interesting when your brand sign coming into a product. Can you tell us what's next? What's the next big thing for e-commerce ID?
We are, since the time is a bit limited here, we have actually a product town hall later in May where also Helena Helmersson, the former CEO at H&M, who's our investor and advisor, she will join. It's invite only, so please reach out if you want to join. But we are taking agentic commerce and conversational and contextual search to brands' own websites, where we want to help brands keep the traffic on their own destinations, because it feels like a lot of other things going on right now is where traffic is moving away from brands, and we want to help brands keep traffic within their own ecosystem, and that's what we will show here end of May.
Lovely, thank you, Oscar. I'm sorry this feels very rushed. You can definitely find these guys after for more intentional conversation. But DEMA, last but not least, so Jessika, we obviously have a lot of mutual clients, and I do feel like you guys are the golden child of the paid side of our business. But yeah, with what major trends are you seeing around trade reporting and broader business reporting across your client set?
So I think the major trends we're seeing, as I mentioned, we connect every single data point. I think a lot of people in the room can relate to the frustrations of prepping for a trade meeting. We're addressing something that people spend a lot of time on. They know what good looks like already. And now with DEMA, they have access to the tools that help them automate that. And that plants a seed for further sort of data discovery. When you don't have to spend 3 weeks digging into something, it can take you literally 3 minutes. So it really changes the way that teams are dealing with their data for the better, I would say.
And then on the paid side, how do you think a £20 million brand should be using broader attribution tooling and incrementality testing?
Now here I do have a lot to say.
Right, you've got 2 minutes.
All right. So first of all, I think if you are a $20 million brand, then you're probably spending as much or not even more on paid marketing than you are paying your employees. So of course, your employees, you have, performance reviews, et cetera, and you need to sort of approach marketing in the same sort of serious way. And I mean, there are a lot of different ways to go about it. Of course, you can go down the route of like full-fledged incrementality testing, marketing mix modeling, and so on. But I think that people often go wrong quite early because it starts out with the tool that they want to use. You should really start by focusing on the sort of issue that you want to address, first and foremost, and then sort of build out your tool stack around that. There's a lot of work that you can do without having full tools. We talked a bit about sort of the build versus buy aspect. And again, like I encourage curiosity, being bold to make a change. For example, like honing in on anything that is incremental. So, I mean, I would say everyone in this room knows attribution rights. Again, that comes back to a question of what are you measuring? You're measuring, whoever was in contact with your ad, but you're not measuring whether that ad was the one that sort of pushed them over the edge. So those types of questions is something that we see our golden brands really doubling down on. So yeah, and I try it out yourselves. Like be bold, shut off some meta spend in a town where you can track the sales and see what happens. I think most of you would be surprised exactly how big the difference is between what you're seeing in the ad platforms or your GA versus what that actually looks like at the end of the day. There's a lot of money to save.
I do think I need 40 minutes for the next time we do this one, but I've loved having you guys all on stage. I think we've got 1 minute to do this test if you want to get on with that, Sarah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I forgot the bloody question now. So Bain did a study last year, towards the end of last year, and they looked at the state of the luxury market. So the question is, within this study, they said that 0.1% of top VIP customers create X% of the market value. What do you think that X% is? And I've got the garment bags that we use for our concierge appointments. So yeah, anyone guess? 70% lower. 16 higher. 35. Who said 35? 37. But you can.
It's got a Peterson clasp as well, so. There you go, you're well done. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being on stage with us. Come and find these guys across the conference as well, because, this has not been enough time to showcase the product. Thank you, everyone.